there's another person that you all will recognize, and you still see him on television, and this is the Money Movie, and the guy who does the great reviews, and it's Al Shea. Welcome, Al Shea.
Good to see you. Well, I will.
Al, first bring us up to date. Now, you are, believe it or not, he's a grandfather. He's a grandfather twice. Tell us who had the children and where they are.
Jennifer, my daughter Jennifer, had a little girl whose name is Teresa Cassidy, which I don't like too much, so I call her TC, and she's in the beautiful downtown Gretna. And my son, Shannon, and his wife, Tracy, had a little girl named Molly Jo. Isn't that a marquee name?
Yes.
And of course, he's with 20th Century Fox, so
he does
doing
special
great.
effects, doesn't he?
He's a sculptor, really. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, a sculptor.
A sculpture
Would
for
you a
20th Century
yourself?
Fox. What was that?
Wayne, good. Wayne said, aren't you a chiseler yourself?
Yes. Takes one to know one. I have a postscript of that story, though, that Tony Martin did call in because, but what happened is that Terry, that when he eventually came on the show, she introduced him as Dean Martin. You remember that? And he was mad all over again. You know? I mean, she wouldn't let him alone.
How did we ever get celebrities to go on?
Let me tell you about us. We flew without a net. This show is taped. As good as it is, it's taped. Stepping Out is taped, and I love it.
And that's on Channel 12.
That's on, well, it started here.
Yeah.
It originated here. But we did it without a net. I never knew how brave.
For an hour.
For an hour.
Every day.
Talented, courageous, outrageous people we were. And when we were doing it, I thought, because I'd grown up in it. When I look back now, there was no show like we did. There has never been one since. And I just don't think people will do it. Really. We sat there every day with mud on our faces. Every day.
Why do you say they wouldn't do it now?
Because I
what's
think people are
different?
too scared. Everybody's shellacked on television. You know, we laugh about Rivette doing your makeup or whatnot. Hey, Irma, stay going. Doing your makeup and whatnot. But well, I don't know what you do in New York, but here, I mean, we have, on Stepping Out, we have a makeup lady. I mean, I love it, and everybody looks better, I guess.
We have a makeup man.
Yeah, but I
Very
mean,
sit.
usually, you know, we ran it. We would throw some powder on and get on, and
That's
we didn't
too easy,
rehearse
Al.
and all that.
No, it must be
Well, tell
something else.
about your Entertainment Tonight program that you did, because it took you 5 hours to tape your 30 seconds. Is that right?
See?
Well,
yeah.
they hung around for about 3 hours, and then it was 30 seconds. It must be very difficult for the editors, though. No, I mean, to go
Well, there's always
through-
more than one now.
Yeah,
You know, we were really with a skeleton crew.
Since Wayne was telling things that happened on Midday, what stands out in your mind? Now, I know you've got tons of stories, but can you just tell us a couple of things that happened?
Well, Jerry Lewis came on the show. Remember when Jerry Lewis came?
I didn't like him.
Oh,
I never, yeah.
Nobody liked him. Oh. But I waited for him at the door because he had sent a whole list of requirements, instructions, and somebody had to greet him. And everything you said, his aide carried around a little tape recorder. In those days, there were big tape recorders because they were two-wielder. And he came in, and I had read in the Times-Picayune, where is Benji Morrison, that morning, that he had been ill. So I said, you know, to make light conversation, I said, well, you know, happy to see you, and I hear you're ill. He said, who says I'm ill? So from there, it went downhill. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't speak without it into the microphone because he was so afraid of being sued. Well, he was the worst.
He was
Yeah,
awful.
I agree with you.
The
He's
worst.
the worst person.
The worst.
But we had wonderful people.
Now, tell us somebody
yeah.
that was fun.
That
you
was
remember.
fun.
Yeah.
Bette Midler. Do you remember Bette Midler in the show?
No, tell us about it.
Bette
Oh,
Midler
I
came. She was
still
right
love
out
her.
of the baths in New York. She
Yeah.
wasn't even that famous. But she came in the show, I'll never forget, in a pair of rolled-up blue jeans, a blouse that was open, a little kerchief around her neck and hair crazy, and big high heels with funny socks. And Terry, trying to be sweet and friendly and welcoming to her, she said to me on the air, she said, I don't think she looked so bad, do you? I mean, and Bette Miller had gotten up at 6 o'clock in the morning to look like that.
You know something? I don't remember any of this. I think you people are making up.
No, we loved you for it.
Is that what happens when you get older? You don't remember any of these things? You can always say that, whether
You're
you
right.
do or not.
Really,
No, that
Terry,
does happen.
Without you, things would have done all right.
We'd still be
But
on
they
the
wouldn't
air.
have been as much fun.
That's right. Well, now I think we ought to bring on somebody else that was a very important part of our show, too. This picture you'll remember. We always stayed tuned to find out what catastrophe was going to happen in New Orleans. Nash Roberts. Welcome. With all of his instruments around him there. Oh, Nash, it's wonderful to have you here. Now tell us
Kiss
what
me,
you're
darling.
doing today.
I'll
You're
kiss
still-
them, but I won't kiss
Nash,
you.
do you need this?
No, I don't do that.
You're still, of course, very much involved in the weather.
Yes, I still am.
Because you still have your own company on Radio Park.
You do. A little powder.
No, that's something I've never been able to convince anybody that saw me on TV, that they didn't realize that I was in the private weather business before I went on TV. I continued to do it all the time I was on TV, and I went right back to it, or continued it after getting off TV, and they all think that I retired, that I'm just not doing anything. And when I did the TV shows, I'd usually had about 8 hours in already working, and those 14 to 16-hour days after 30-some-odd years got to be a little wearing, and so I just bowed out. But I will still do, I'm still under contract.
Well, now tell me, you're also in the growing business because you have a farm over on the North Shore.
We grow Christmas trees.
Money.
Money tree, huh?
Money tree. We grow money trees, Christmas trees. We have about 20,000 trees on the place, Christmas trees, and we'll be open on the 2nd of December to sell them. And it's all choose and cut.
How much are they?
Oh, I just wanted to ask you.
I don't take that
Why
Confederate
couldn't you have
money,
gotten a
really.
tree from Nash instead of having me drag one down
Because
from Maine
Nash,
for you?
at Nash, at that time, see, that was 4 years ago, and at that time, Nash's trees weren't tall enough. We needed one for Canal Place. We needed one that was 40 feet
yeah.
tall,
Yes,
and you
I
didn't
do
have any
remember.
40
Oh, I
feet.
still don't have any of that.
And I had to go all over the state of Maine to find a Christmas tree for Jan.
And you did.
And then found somebody with an 18-wheeler that we conned into taking it down for nothing.
And Terry is a great salesperson.
You made a great pie, I'll tell you that.
The tree was for nothing.
Now, Nash, tell us about what you're doing. What's your life like today?
Well, it's still pretty busy. I go to the weather office every day, and I check in before I came here on Hugo, who's moving this way, and has a chance about the time, I guess Saturday night, when it gets around the Les Antilles, it will intersect a trough that goes up the Atlantic, and that's going to be its chance. If it doesn't take that trough and go up the Atlantic, we'll probably have to worry about it in next week.
And we'll know when we see this show
Yeah, by the
whether it is
time-
in us or not.
We're still
now,
here
Now, what, Nash, tell me what you remember about Midday. Do you have some stories that stand out in your mind?
I have some great stories, but I'm afraid we can't tell them on the air. Particularly one about you.
About
But,
me?
yeah, but I won't dare.
Oh,
Tell.
And I had a good one about Ellie, too, but I won't do it.
Tell us
No,
what
please.
you're not going to do, Nash.
But I will tell you that one of the funniest things I ever saw happen on Midday that I can talk about is that when Terry was advertising Pam, the spray-on
Spray,
stuff that you put in a frying pan, and she picked up the frying pan, got the aerosol can of Pam, and sprayed it right in her own face. It was turned the wrong way. It worked great. Her makeup didn't come off. I mean,
Nash, we're really, you got to tell me the story that you said you can't tell about me.
I cannot tell it. I would, if you, now you're asking for
I'm
it.
asking for it.
I
Okay.
bet I know what you're asking for. I bet.
All right, now remember, we can always, I hope that we can edit it out if you don't want to use
Okay,
it.
go ahead. Go ahead. True.
We were doing a 4th of July picnic motif on Midday, and we had a long, long table spread with all of us on the far side of the table, sitting in the line for a picnic, and for 4th of July. I was sitting on one side of you, Bob was sitting on the other. We were having fried chicken. And I don't know whether it was Maria, somebody came and put the fried chicken in front of you. And you said, Bob, Nash, I have 2 breasts. Would either one of you want one?